On this episode, we're going to be looking at whether rising energy costs could potentially be behind the increase in pneumonia cases currently happening across the UK.
People over 70 are hit the hardest.
James is going to be showing off how to get the perfect pipe bend using his Monument pipe benders.
And there you go, you've got a lovely 90-degree bend there.
And if you're looking to get started in the trade, well, we're going to be sharing some really valuable advice that you're not going to want to miss.
As long as you're willing, that's the main thing.
So let's get into it.
You heard about these, or did you know that hospital admissions for people with pneumonia are up 66%?
Hospital?
Yeah, hospital admissions.
Yeah.
For people with pneumonia, up 66%.
Do you know what? Actually, I was ill about a month, when I was on one of the podcasts. I was really ill, wasn't I? And I literally had this chest infection. Man, I thought I had pneumonia. It must have been like, nobody tests for COVID and no one cares about COVID, but it must have been like a strain of COVID or something, because that wiped me off my feet.
Yeah.
For a good week, I was well ill and I soldiered for everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, up 66% is massive, right? And what they're talking about, and this recent study that's been done by ERA, are talking about...
they should heat their homes with gas.
No, but it's hot. The reason that they're saying that this is happening is because of energy bills being so high, and a lot of people not being able to afford to have their heating on full or heating on sufficiently to keep their homes warm enough.
So
they're getting cold, getting damp, all of that kind of stuff, and then people are getting ill. Like, it's quite severe. Like 5,828 adult hospital admissions for cold-related conditions among people who reported they were not homeless.
Yeah, that's extreme.
It is extreme, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to be done about it. There ain't no solutions in this particular article, I don't think.
And you reckon that's energy prices that are doing that?
This is what they're saying, yeah.
It's not a new design of cold going around, or...
No, because this is linked to being cold. So it's like pneumonia and hypothermia.
Oh, fair enough.
So it's all to do with like being really, really cold. People over 70 are hit the hardest. Obviously, it's always going to be older people.
Didn't they? The old people.
Mm.
Bloody hell.
Bit concerning, really. They're talking about the warm homes plan being a part of the solution. You know, the £15 billion that's going into upgrading people's home heating and bringing down energy costs, or not necessarily bringing down energy costs, but installing energy systems that potentially operate at a lower cost is the aim, right? But whether that actually transpires or not, we know.
The amount of money we spend in this country pointlessly. I'm not going to go into things like everyone knows most of the major things. Like they could just be spent, like you say, more on bringing prices down.
It would be better, yeah. I mean, it'd be because most people still are heating their homes with gas, ain't they? So for people to be experiencing hypothermia, giving them a $7,500 for a heat pump, $7,500 grant to install the heat pump ain't going to help them, is it?
No.
Because they've got a gas boiler. They're probably not going to switch it out anyway. The problem is that their gas price is so high. And obviously, they're only going to be going up because of all the things that are happening in the world and all of that kind of stuff. So something needs to happen to bring down just gas prices. If gas prices were brought down, electricity prices would come down as well. Because the electricity price is linked to gas. So we've got to do, like you say, we should be investing more in bringing down overall energy costs as well as. If we're going to be spending money on upgrading people's home heating systems, getting people onto solar, all of that kind of stuff, that's great. But at the same time, like you say, we need to be bringing down the overall energy costs because this is the United Kingdom. people have got a surge of people being admitted to hospital with hypothermia and pneumonia because they can't afford to heat their homes. That's bad times.
Crazy.
That's bad times. Because as well, with older people, they often won't say, you know, if they've got a problem. A lot of older people are quite proud.
They just want to crack on, didn't they?
But they're proud, didn't they? And they don't want to ask for help a lot of the time. So, like, I know my mum. If my mum was struggling, she might not tell me. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's 70 now. You would hope that she would tell me.
They're that generation of they just sort of don't make a fuss.
Yeah,
because they had it. Like we're all just a very entitled generation.
Yeah.
Whereas like back in their day,
they speak for yourself, man.
Well, I mean, just saying. Like, back in the older people, they just didn't have all these technologies and all these lovely things. So they had a, they had a hard life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we are much more used to the comforts.
Some people didn't have central heating back in the day.
True.
A lot of people didn't.
True. A lot of people, they would have had open fires and things like that, wouldn't they? Which, you at least if you have got an open fire, you keep yourself warm, can't you?
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry too much about the price of energy. You just go outside and chop some wood.
Yeah, it just gets a bit stuffy.
Yeah, but open fires are nice, though, aren't they?
They
My
are.
mum has actually got a log burner. She put a log burner in a while back, so she just likes them. Is it a log burner? She definitely had a log burner put in. I can't remember if it's. Yeah, no, she's got a
They
log
are
burner.
nice. They're comforting, aren't they?
Yeah,
They like the crackling noises and stuff.
Yeah. Lovely old log burner. Keeps you nice and warm. Ain't got to worry about the gas prices. Ain't got to worry about Putin or the Iranians. Just chop some
You
wood,
just get
stick it in a log burner.
Ecoists talking about chopping down the wood next, wouldn't you? They're chopping too much wood down for these log burners.
We did do a little video a while back about the levels of what's it called? Callum PM 2.5, I think they're called, which is the particles that are like any kind of pollutant or particle that's smaller than, I think, or pollen is one, but smaller than sort of 2.5 microns, I think it is. They're called PM 2.5s. And the levels of PM 2.5s in the atmosphere have been shown to be increasing rapidly in certain areas. And that's largely due to people just burning wood for fuel to keep warm rather than relying on gas and electricity because of the prices, because the prices are going up. So people living in like high expensive areas like cities and things like that, where they have the ability to do it, if they've got a fireplace there or they've got a log burner in the house, people are switching to those types of things more and more frequently, and it can be seen by the level of pollutants in the atmosphere. Because like it's all well and good saying we're gonna transition people onto electricity and all of these types of things, but when the cost of it is so high and the cost of energy is so high, people will just push back and just do their own thing, won't they? And just start setting fire to shit to keep warm.
Yeah.
You got to keep warm, man. But yeah, so quite a big one there. 66%, man. I just think it's insane. It's a massive, massive surge. You got any more on that one, Callum?
Not really. Yeah, a lot more of the article sort of just goes into like the hows about it, honestly. Obviously just concerns as well. Seems to just be concerns with obviously like the Middle East crisis at the moment that might have an effect on it as well.
Going to exacerbate things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing anybody can do is anyone that they know that is a bit older, just check in on them and just make sure. Because like we're saying, like people are proud and they don't always want to say if they're struggling with anything. It's just worth checking in with people, ain't it? Just make sure that they're all right. All you got to do is pop round there, ain't you? Yeah. And then just, if it's really cold, then you know it like...
And a lot of old people as well, they don't know how to work their heating controls and stuff. Like I went round one of my wife's, a family member, he's an old boy, and he doesn't know how to work the thermostat, so he's just been in the cold most of the winter. He hasn't said anything to anyone because just like he said, he's just hardcore. He's just a hardcore old geezer.
Yeah.
But he's like... literally just went round there, programmed it for him and showed him how to turn it on and off and that. I think he's like, got a little, bless him, he's getting a little bit dementia as well. So maybe he's just forgetting. So yeah, keep an eye on some of the old people, help them get their heating on for them and stuff. Some of them might just like, when they get old, it's like my mum and that, she still struggles to work the thermostat and all he is pushing a button up and down. Yeah,
definitely. It's a great shout. Set it up for them. You can also help people if they are using if they're not using the controls properly, you might be able to help people save a bit of money by using the controls better, but also keep warm at the times where you need to keep warm. Yeah,
because a lot of old people as well, they're just straight on or off instead of setting programs.
Yeah,
but I think programs confuse a lot of them. But you can
do it for them.
Do it for them and write them little notes and stuff so they know how to turn it on and off if they don't want it on and things.
Yeah, great shout.
It'll post it next to the thermostat and stuff.
Yeah, you seen British Gas are in the shit again for their BS bullshit heat pump claims. Have you?
No.
You ain't seen this one. So
I get all my news from you, bro.
Yeah, well, mate, remember we spoke about this before with British Gas and I think it was Octopus at the time in the shit for their claims around heat pump savings. Well, they're British Gas, not Octopus this time, but British Gas this time, and they're like Hive, the Hive thermostats that they do. They're all part of the same group.
Right.
They've had a bunch of adverts banned by the Advertising Standards
Authority. So British
Gas
own Hive, do they?
Yeah, well, the parent company, Centrica, owns both of them.
Right.
As I understand it. And they have both had ads banned for making bullshit claims around savings Like things like you can save up to £546, but like without substantiating it or saying what the criteria is or like how that's actually
what
going
do
to
you
work.
save the £546 is on?
Yeah.
It definitely ain't your electricity bill.
Yeah. Or there was one claim. There's one claim there that says shrink your electricity bills by up to 94% your first year with solar. But 94%.
That's. I'm not sure. I'm not educated enough.
But it's
in solar.
unsubstantiated. So they're just making these bold claims, like, and putting them out on like Facebook ads and things like that, and then just
the perfect system might do that, but I mean, is every system going to be able to be in each house is different, isn't it? You know, so
yeah, and they're like just completely unsubstantiated claims where you can't be doing that. Like, especially as a company the size of British Gas, you think that they'd be able to get these things right, wouldn't you? And just advertise properly and not mislead people. But I suppose the people that are running the ads, they just want to get clicks. Like their probably KPIs and targets and things like that are all around just getting more clicks. Like get the click through rate up, get the time on like ad up, like the dwell time they call it, like the amount of time people are spending looking at the ad. Like you have these things called thumb stop is like a rate that people look at on social media ads. So it's like if the ad gets somebody to stop, like that is like a really good thing because obviously people are just scrolling through their and then phones. It
starts building an algorithm on you, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, but then like where you've got people running ads, they can see all of the data behind that, so they can see if this ad gets people to stop and look, and then if they put this wording in there, it gets them to click through. Then like that's what they're targeted on more than being accurate or honest. They're just trying to get people to pay attention to their ads and click on them. But they should be doing more. British Gas, Centrica, the parent company, whoever's responsible for it, they should be doing more to make sure that their ads are legit and can be substantiated. Because otherwise, again, you're just misleading people and getting people to invest money into things that ain't necessarily going to do what they think they're going to do.
Good old salesman technique they're using there, aren't they? Eh?
What, just lie? Just say whatever you want. Sell the stuff. Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier with regards to our business, because obviously one of our kind of core principles as a business, like, is to be accurate in everything that we do. And like within our industry with radiators, you have like overstated heat outputs and all that kind of stuff that we spoke about. You know, you saw that article in your Gas Safe magazine, didn't you, about it? Like where we've been working with the Manufacturers Association around it all. And like a lot of people, they just don't care. It's just they'll just say whatever they want to sell a product, and like overstating your radiator heat outputs just makes it appear like more appealing to people. You know, if you say
of course it does.
This radiator is super powerful, and then people looking at it just don't know any different. They think, oh, this one's 10,000 BTUs and this one's only 5,000 BTUs. I get the 10,000 BTU one because it's more powerful, and it's like it's the same.
Like selling a car and saying its top speed is this and it can do 0 to 60 in this, but
exactly.
It can't.
Yeah, exactly that. And then you'd think like we're battling with it in our industry all the time with like smaller like retailers, like other radiator retailers, similar size to us. Some of them actually way bigger than us, and they're non-compliant with their radiator sales. But you'd think the likes of British Gas wouldn't be doing that shit.
Well, I don't know. British Gas haven't got a very good rep, have they? They've always been a bit, I don't know. They've always been that, like, from being out an engineer on the road, they've always been that company that sort of go round and sort of like try to get people to upgrade boilers instead of fixing them. And like, it's funny because one of their recent ads that I'll be like working or driving and I would hear would like they've finally come out and sort of said, like, they used to call it a boiler service, which when you're a gas engineer you understand the difference, but like there's a boiler service and there's just like a safety inspection, and most people are just doing a safety inspection, and they've started like labeling it on their advert as like, you know, our boiler service, it's like an MOT. We check that it's safe, because they're in and out. They've got targets to hit and they're in and out in like 30 minutes or sometimes
really?
quicker. Yeah, but so they're basically just doing an inspection. It's not a service. A service is where you're stripping down the boiler, changing gaskets, cleaning electrodes or changing electrodes, like cleaning the boiler, doing a proper service. That's a service. Or a safety inspection, or what most people call it. Like they're calling it MOT, but in the real world is a homeowner's or a landlord CP1 certificate.
Right.
That's just like an inspection to make sure it's safe. So you go like, and the landlords that rent out properties have to do it yearly. It's a legal requirement, and that's so that everything in that property is safe for whoever's renting it.
Yeah,
You literally just go there, you just stick your anodise in, make sure it's safe, do a few tests, do a tightness test, make sure there's no leaks, test the carbon monoxide alarms, other things. I won't bore you with it all, but so yeah, British Gas have come out recently. They've made this advert calling it like the MOT.
Right.
Because for years, like people would say, I'm getting my boiler service with British Gas.
Right.
But you're not, because they're not servicing it. They're just coming out and testing it's safe and cracking on to the next one.
Yeah.
So it's like a safety inspection. So really, they're being a bit more transparent with that now because
So they've changed the name of it now.
Yeah, well, they haven't changed the name, but they've sort of on the advertising, when they're advertising it.
Yeah.
They're sort of saying that they say, oh, it's like an MOT on your boiler. So when you get your car MOT, it's like that. We're checking it safe. We're doing this. So they're being a bit more clear about it.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but then at the same time, it's like still confusing, isn't it? Because like, why are they not doing full services then? Is there a reason for that?
I suppose
It's just not necessary to get that certificate.
There's not. Do you know what? It's not always necessary with domestic appliances. Like it depends the age. If a boiler's like 2 years old, it might say in the manufacturer's instructions it doesn't need to be stripped down till the 3rd year, or or the 5th year or something. So it's not always. You don't always need to strip down the condensing boiler. They sort of self-clean themselves because the condensation's washing down through the boiler. But
the safety checks need to be done yearly, especially if you're a landlord. They have to be done.
Yeah, they have to be done.
Yeah.
So
but
they're just a huge. They're a huge corporation. That's just how. The bigger you get, that's just how it becomes.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the bigger you are, that's just how it becomes. Like they have targets to meet, and it's like that's just how it is. They have so many jobs they're doing that it's just do that safety check onto the next one. I suppose they offer the new boilers, which I was being a bit derogative about earlier, because that they probably offer guarantees and stuff, and they let people pay. People can take credit and pay it, like finance them and sort of things as well. So I suppose they are doing some things helpful, you know.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, like you say, when companies get to that kind of size and scale, it's you lose or at least some companies lose the more like people orientated, hands-on approach that you get with small independents.
Yeah, of course you do go that. Like, say you're a one-man band, you go around someone's house, you're doing that extra. You'll like service the boiler for that money. Whereas like when you're huge corporations, everything's just a number and a KPI.
Yeah, true. Get ya, you know. And then as a smaller business trying to grow, you try and implement some of those things, but it's important, ain't it, to not forget that you want to keep that personal touch and keep that
because that's how you're getting more work. Because if you do like that, go the extra mile, you're going to get that word of mouth recommendation and things like that. Whereas British Gas don't need that. Yeah, they're just a household name.
Yeah, and that's the thing that gives them that kind of trust. Where the assumption is because they're so big, they must be trustworthy, reliable, and doing everything like in the best possible way. Because, like you say, people think, "Oh, I'm getting my boiler serviced by British Gas," and they think because it's British Gas, it's just better. When actually, a lot of the times they're not even.
Probably much better being done by someone independent.
Yeah.
Because like even if I'm just doing a safety inspection, because for the money it's about £80 for a safety inspection, and I sometimes feel guilty because I can do that in like 20 minutes. So I'll go the extra mile and clean the condense trap or do other bits and have a general, like, I don't know, like other little bits that I don't really need to be doing, but I'll do them because...
Yeah, but there's value in it both ways, ain't it? Like you say.
Try to long the job out.
Yeah, and then people will recommend you more because you go above and beyond. You get more recommendations, you get more callbacks, you know, people, like you build more of a relationship with people because people appreciate it, don't they?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Slipped my mind, man. I was going to say something there. Never mind.
Also with British Gas, it's like the name. It's like they once probably were, you know, back in the day, I think they were more of a more liked company. And they've just got that heritage, like British Gas. I think people like almost get it confused like they're the board or something. Like,
well, originally it was publicly owned, weren't it? Before it was sold off. It was publicly owned
so
company.
people have that like perception of it still, that it's like that, especially old people. Yeah. They're like, I need British Gas in, my boiler's playing up. It's not that anymore, really.
No. Oh, that's what I was going to say, actually. So, like, because we've had, radiators sold to customers and they've had an issue with it on, like, following the installation. We've had times where people will, like, email in with their issues and say, it's been installed by a British Gas engineer, like, as if to say that means that it can't be the fault of the installation because a British Gas engineer has done it. And it's just like, like it's not heating up properly. There's probably trapped air in the radiator, like something along those lines, or it's making a noise, something like that. You know,
or they haven't balanced the rest of it correctly.
Yeah, and it's just like the radiator's faulty. So it's probably not faulty. You've got to try all
of
these
things.
things.
A hollow bit of metal.
Exactly. It's like, but it's been installed by a British gas engineer.
You can't really get a lot. That's the beauty of your industry, right? You can't really like get a lot wrong with a radiator, can you?
If it's not leaking, it ain't broken.
Unless you have like you're really unlucky and one comes off the production line, it's got a little leak on it. Like it's just a hollow bit of metal with water's going in and coming out the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when people try to say you've got a faulty radiator, that's going to be very, very unlikely.
It is really unlikely, but people just, because if an engineer or an installer has installed it and they are having trouble getting it to heat up, it's not heating up properly, there's noises and things like that, they don't want to be responsible for that. So they just say it's the radiator.
Yeah.
And then because they're there face to face with the customer, it's the customer.
It's easy to quickly go, yeah, it must be that rad, and then get out of there.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
And then the customer ends up caught between like the installer and us potentially. Like we do everything we can to solve problems for customers though, because we understand that if they're in that situation and the installer has said something to them, like they can quite easily get caught in a situation where installer's blaming us, we're blaming the installer, customers just left like with a problem that's going unsolved. So we will never do that. We'll always make sure that we do everything we can to possibly solve the issue for the customer. But 99 times out of 100 or 9,999 times out of 1,000, it's not a faulty radiator.
Exactly.
You know, it's trapped there. It's so common. Like
crap
you get
in the system.
Yeah, you get airlocks so frequently, especially with like vertical rads. Sometimes when they're filled up and it's like, no, it's been bled and there's water coming out the top. It's like, yeah, but you might have an airlock in the middle. Like there's we troubleshoot it with them and we talk them through how to resolve it. And we, I say vast majority of times you get to a solution.
How do you resolve it on a?
If there's an airlock in a vertical rad,
what in the middle?
Yeah, so that can happen. So what you have to do is just drain it back down and then refill it, but refill it slowly.
Right. So it pushes out the air equally.
Yeah. Because sometimes they just get filled too quickly.
You'll get a pocket of air in like the top columns.
Yeah, exactly that. So you refill it slowly and constantly bleeding it, or you can just keep bleeding it over a period of days. Keep coming back to it and just bleed a little bit more out, bleed a little bit more out, bleed, and then eventually it will clear. But it's a I wouldn't say it's super common, but it's a relatively common one.
Do your design radiators have that bit in there, that sort of the deflection piece?
Yeah.
What's that called?
We call it a diverter. Flow diverter, but people call it a baffle. Like a lot of installers will just call it a baffle. Yeah, we call it a flow diverter.
Because they're essential, aren't they? Because I remember getting a radiator when design radiators first was sort of coming onto the scene.
Yeah.
And it didn't have that in there.
Yeah.
And it was just like a high vertical one. And the water was just, it took so long to heat because the water was just going straight through the bottom of it. And then it gradually have to convect its way up. But with that baffle or that diverter, it hits it and pushes it up.
Yeah, the other thing
you can get ones that you plug in yourself, can't you?
You can, yeah. The other thing with them is that when you test the radiator's heat output, the way that the test standard is set is top, bottom, opposite ends. So you have
I get what you mean. You
pipe
it up opposite.
Yeah, you put exactly. So you have like the inlet.
But people don't want that though, do they?
People don't want that now, but it's the most. You get the most heat out of the radiator that way. But yeah, so just to explain for people, what that means is you have the inlet at the top. At the top on one side, and then the outlet at the bottom on the other side. So then you've got water coming in the top, along the rad, and then down, and then out the other side.
So you'd have like a valve here, and then a valve at the top there. So it's coming in, going up, and then out the valve.
Well, not the other way, like in along the top, and then out and down the bottom. And then because of that, the advertised heat output of the radiator is such that because it's been piped up that way, that you're going to get the maximum heat output. So the advertised heat output will then be based on top, bottom, opposite end configuration. But then most people, when they're installing a rad, they want bottom opposite ends because it looks nicer.
Especially on a
so what the flow diverter then does
vertical rad.
On all rads. So we put a flow diverter on all of our radiators, because what that then does is then as the water comes in at the bottom end, it forces it up to the top. So you actually get
that effect.
Yeah. So you get more. So you get back to effectively top, bottom, opposite end configuration.
And is
with
that on the
bottom,
flow?
opposite end? Yeah.
So you've got to look as well when you're installing that rad to get that baffle piece on your flow.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably don't do that today.
Yeah, well, it's in the instructions. We have it in our instructions, and most people do. Sometimes that can be an occurrence.
An issue, yeah.
Yeah, when they've installed it, and we will have to refer them back to the instructions. And most times, if that ever happens, the installer's like, okay, yeah, no problem. They just sort it out.
See, I just never read the instructions for
Yeah, most people don't read instructions. But yeah, always check for a flow diver for your baffle.
Your flow baffle piece. Interesting. That's a good bit of knowledge even for me.
I've got one more story here. Reform UK has announced it would scrap the government's heat pump grant.
Oh.
Take a look at this one.
Even though I'm not a massive heat pump guy, I just you've got to crack on with it now, haven't you? You've got to still do the heat pumps.
So what they're saying is that they'll scrap the heat pump grant and cut taxes instead. So use the money that they would save to reduce people's taxes.
I'm sure there's a lot of things you could scrap before the heat pump grant. You know what I mean?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Out of all the stuff that government at the moment are like putting money into it, which the country are unhappy about, like the stupidity that we waste money on, which I won't go into on this podcast because I'm not really that deep into politics or opinions on it all and stuff. But you'd think that'd come a bit further down the pecking order, wouldn't you?
I think it's just a headline grabber, isn't it?
Yeah, and also I think as well, instead of being directed on heat pumps, it's more the net zero in general, probably.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is
because that is a big tax and up, really, ain't it?
Well, this is a specific announcement that they've made, like on the heat pump grant, saying that they'll scrap it and then cut taxes for people. Obviously, this article here is criticising it a little bit, just sort of saying that tax cuts will benefit the rich. Is that what they're saying? I mean, look, this is probably like a fairly left-wing article commenting on a pretty right-wing party, so they're obviously not going to agree with what's being said. Like you say, though, it's not actually that much money. The heat pump grant, the cost isn't actually that much money. It's not like it's hundreds of billions of pounds a year being spent on the heat pump grant, I don't think, anyway. You got anything on that one, Callum?
Everything's so right and left these days. It's so boring. I know. Right, left. Right. How about being straight? Do you know what I mean? Right, left.
It's straight down the middle.
Right, or it's so left.
The problem I find with it as well is if you agree with something that somebody said or you disagree with something that somebody they assume that you're on. Yeah, they just assume that you're on the other side. It's like I've never been like on a political side. Do you know what I mean? I'm not one or the other. I never have been, never will be, because like I just don't want to like outsource my thinking to being like, oh, I'm left wing, like, or oh, I'm right wing, like, so I just agree with all right wing stuff, or I just think what I think and agree with what I agree with. You know? Well, there's a little we can listen to this article apparently.
I don't know how long that's going to be.
Nah, it'd be too long. You got the gist.
Yeah, so obviously, as you said, like Reform sort of want to redirect that grant into tax cuts, which obviously is just going to benefit the rich, mostly.
Is that obvious?
Oh.
Cam a bit lefty, isn't he?
Oh no!
Stop outsourcing your
I
thinking.
agreed with one thing. I've been outed. Yeah, the article sort of goes into again. It's more a case of how heat pumps sort of work as an aspect of like home upgrades, sort of.
Right.
It's not just heat pumps. Obviously, with heat pumps. It then leans into obviously upgrades in insulation. It's upgrades in solar panels, batteries, double and triple glazing. It's one of those ones that by you getting into heat pumps, you are usually also getting into the other upgrades. So it's by doing that one, you're then causing issues with other things down the chain. It's not just going to affect heat pumps.
Yeah,
seems to be what he's the guys are talking about here. Council housing he jumps into for a bit, as well as like rented accommodation and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of it is just like criticising Reform's thoughts on that one. But yeah, as we said, it's one side against another one at this point. But yeah,
while he's holding his unleaded look.
Yeah.
I love how he always dresses up. I always love his outfits.
Oh,
that is quite, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
It's got him like that, and they're like, we got him. He's got it unleaded in his hand.
Just spraying petrol everywhere, isn't he? Just crazy.
Oh, great.
Look at him, just wasting it, just pouring it out.
Just let them fumes out.
I can't even work out what he stood in
It's like he's
front
holding
of.
a gun. Look. It's like,
Where even is that?
Oh no, there is a car on his right hand side, but
There's a
I have no idea what that thing is on the left. Genuinely.
Anyway, Farage, man.
oh, don't.
But it's just, anyone in opposition to the government, all they really do is just say that they'll do the opposite to what the government is currently doing, don't they? That's basically our system.
We're just a world full of debates these days. That's what social media and the internet's done, isn't it?
I was thinking about it the other day, though. Like the good thing about it is, obviously, I mean, we got into the Iran thing last week. I ain't going to go into that again, but I see countries like that are the way that they are, and you can't criticise and you can't call out the government for things you disagree with. Like the opposite to that is a country like ours, which, whilst it is a lot of bickering all the time and people just going opposite to each other and criticising each other and all of that, it kind of is the best sort of way to run a country.
You're allowed to think your own way.
Yeah, and it's like the best system that anyone's kind of come up with to be able to run a country, because it's like everyone, like, because we can change leaders every few years, it's like sometimes, let's say we disagree on things, sometimes you'll get a go to run things and I can sit there and complain about everything that you're doing, and then next time around I'll get a go and you can complain at everything that I'm doing, and then, that's kind of the best way to do it, right? Because at least everyone gets a turn and we can all criticise them while they're doing it if we disagree with what they're doing, and it means that people at least don't end up in situations where they're having to protest in the streets to the point, being dictated to the point that they want to overthrow their government. Like in this country, we complain as much as we complain, right? But no one's ever at the point where they feel like, I need to overthrow the government, right? Because it's never that bad, and that in a few years' time you're going to get an election, and maybe you'll get a different one and whatever. But generally, life's pretty good, isn't it? And the fact that you're allowed to criticise and complain just makes it all the better, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you think when you see these videos of like Starmer walking around and everyone's like shouting abuse at him in the streets.
Oh, it's a thankless job, isn't it?
And they're like swearing at him and like egging him and stuff. Like, imagine if like that was in certain countries, like someone done that in like one of the Emirate countries, you'd probably be killed.
Yeah, or like someone done that to Putin.
Well, you'd be put in. If someone done that to Putin, you'd be put in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
do so like people really like there is a. You get to act how you want, really. So.
Yeah, but it is a thankless job, though, isn't it, being Prime Minister? Like, there's never... I don't remember a time where we've had a Prime Minister that everyone's like, oh, yeah, they're great. Like, we love them.
Well,
when was the last one? I don't know. Not in my lifetime.
I feel like Cameron at the start, people didn't mind him.
I feel like people look back generally at past prime ministers,
I feel like Tony Blair was liked, and then like now it's like he's evil. He's like Bill Gates, Like,
he was in for a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was in for a long time.
People sort of liked him at the time because you didn't have all the propaganda machine and the internet like exposing a lot of stuff and polluting people's minds. So
and where the economy has been struggling since basically 2008, and we've been through so many prime ministers, people are kind of at a point now where they don't want to give anything a chance. It's like if it's not fixed within like 6 months or a year, people are like, right.
And we've got no one strong. I mean, like even though like Tony Blair, when you look at him and people like David Cameron, like back then, like I feel like Tony Blair and people like that, at least they had a little bit of power. But
we'll see though. Like what I was saying this to someone the other day. I was saying like the best thing that can possibly happen, whether you agree with this government or not, like the best thing that can possibly happen for everybody is that they deliver on the things that they said they were going to deliver on. It results in a growing economy, and we get the economy back on it, like to a growing, like consistently growing standard, because that's the thing that will make the difference to everyone's lives. Whether you tax a little bit more or tax a little bit less, it doesn't really make a difference in the grand scheme of things. What makes the difference is, are we growing or not? Because when the economy's growing, that's when everyone's happy, because there's more to go around. Everyone's businesses are booming. People are getting pay rises, promotions, all of that kind of stuff. That's when people are happiest.
Do you feel like they're a little bit deluded, though, that they make these promises, like, for instance, Starmer and Farage and stuff, but really when they get in, they're not really the ones in control. It's like the huge corporations and the elites that are actually running things. So that they promise this stuff, and then they probably hope that they're going to change it, and then when they get in, they're told like, "No, you're not actually going to do that."
There's definitely some of that, but what I would say is growing economies that benefit everybody, whether you're a massive corporation, whether you're the government, whether you're a small business, whether you're an employee, wherever you are, wherever you sit within the economy, growing economies benefit everybody. So everybody wants
But I'm
growth.
talking about like cuts and stuff, like.
But the cuts, like it's just a different way, it's just a different kind of ideology. So like some people think if you tax more, then you have more money to invest, and that will result in growth. Other people think if you tax less, then people will have more money to spend, and that will result in growth. But all anybody wants is growth.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. And yeah, so that's really the kind of difference maker. But who's right? I don't know. Like we don't know. Like you've had different governments of different ideologies both be successful at different periods in time. So it's hard to say which one's right. I don't think there necessarily is a right or a wrong. But what I would want to see is every government basically be right, because if that when they're in power, they're in power, and them being successful means that the economy is more successful, which means it's a better environment for everybody. So like that's what I want to see anyway. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Also, the other thing I would say on that point, just one other thing on that point, and I'm rambling now, but the other thing on that point is we kind
still
of
haven't said so you're doing well.
I probably have about 17 times, but we kind of think that. Like a year is a long time, but it's not. Like the amount that can be achieved in a year is always overestimated, but the amount that can be achieved in 10 years is always underestimated. So you've got to give a government like until towards the end of their term, and then kind of see have they actually been successful. You can't get a year in and be like, right, change them out, because you're never going to get anywhere. There's never going to be enough time for their policies to properly take effect and you to actually see any kind of benefit. That's my view on it anyway.
All I was going to say is, but I got a bit lost in there. I'm not talking about growth. I agree with you with growth. What I'm saying is a lot of these, like they probably come in, even in America, Trump and stuff, like they get in power, and really some of the stuff they're saying in the lead up they're going to do, the changes they're going to make or the cuts they're going to make here, or they're going to do this for a certain category of people, they probably get told some of the time they can't do that because there's people above them in power that are dictating things, especially in America.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
And probably in the UK as well. Like, you know, like Farage is probably going to say, I'm going to do this, this and this, and this is my campaign. And then he gets in, and then there's people above him, like corporations and elites that are like, nah, you're not doing that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's donors as well. Like, especially in America, there's donors that donate to both parties. They donate to both sides of politics, and then once people are in, they end up doing
it's
things.
The elites.
Yeah, elite donors. There are. That definitely is a part in politics, because you get even politicians say that you need to get the money out of politics because people can't actually enact the policies that they run on because the donors get them in, and then by the time they're in, then the donors then want their payback, which is then to enact the policies that they want to enact, and they're not elected people. They don't have any policies. Well, they do. They have their own policies and their own agendas. But yeah, that's definitely an issue for sure. I don't know how you solve for that though.
You can't. But I'm just saying that's probably a big thing on why people always hate in the governments, because they make all these promises, and I'm not saying all of it. It might only be like 20% of stuff they've said they can't do because elites above them tell them they can't. The other 80s might be they're accountable for, but that stuff blatantly happens. For sure. Right, we've got another game this week, man. I don't know what one it is, or is it a new one? What's the scoreline? We
finished that one. You won that one.
Ah, fair enough.
This is a new one.
Have I got a trophy behind me? We're going to start having little trophies, winners' trophies.
Maybe
that should be a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if my bills aren't too bad, I can do like a paper mache.
Maybe I'll make one out of copper.
I'll
make a little bent trophy.
Yeah. So the new game is a bit different. So this time you're going to be working together.
Ooh.
So
who gets the trophy then?
You can have a joint one.
Rob was tired of losing.
It's like the World Cup. You guys get to share the trophy. You can have it on the
lefty.
Socialist.
So the point of this game is find the fault. So I'm going to give you 3 clues of varying detail. So if you get it on the first clue, you get 3 points as a joint team. If you get it on the second clue, you get 2 points. And if you get it on the third clue, you get 1 point.
Right.
So for every clue, I will need to work this out because I haven't worked that part out yet. But whether you guys get one guess between you or one guess each, because obviously you're on a team. So I guess we'll see how we get on with that one. But yeah, you just need to let me know what you think is the issue with the heating system.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do the first round. We'll see how this goes. So
I love these games.
The games are fun.
let's not get ahead of ourselves here, guys. So with round 1, the first clue is the customer says that one room never gets properly warm.
So the system's not balanced correctly.
Is that your guess as your team?
I agree with guess.
Sorry,
Right.
we're a team here.
Yeah, no,
the system's not balanced, or it could be like the thermostat.
Well, I'm having one
Christ.
guess.
Right, sorry.
Right, yeah, it was not balanced. No,
Wait.
so as in, that's not the answer, sorry, is what I should specify.
Oh, it's the wrong answer.
That is the wrong answer. So clue 2 is the radiator in that room is fully hot.
But the room's not getting
whoa.
hot.
Whoa.
Was the room not getting
We've only
hot?
got one guess on this clue.
But was the room not getting hot, was it?
So clue one was the customer says that one room never gets properly warm.
Right.
The second clue is the radiator in that room is fully hot.
My
right,
answer
so
is
it's undersized.
yeah, I would say undersized.
Undersized?
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah.
There you go. You can have the scoreboard back as well to get you 2 points.
We got 2 points.
Get you 2 points for that one. Yeah, because you got it on the second clue, so that's 2 points. If you'd managed to get it on the first one, which obviously is very difficult because it's very vague, then I would have given you 3 points.
Yeah.
So that's how the game works.
Got it.
We all good?
Yeah.
You dictator.
I've gone from socialist to dictator. What am I anymore?
You're a communist dictator.
No. Right, round 2. So clue number 1. Customer says the boiler pressure drops every few weeks.
Boiler pressure drops.
You can discuss
Every
between
few
you.
weeks.
I've got an idea on this one.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're allowed to confer
Yeah,
before
you
we
can confirm,
confirm our
yeah.
guess. My idea on this one would be like a leak somewhere.
Yeah.
Like a really small leak somewhere.
A really
Would that be-
small leak.
Yeah.
A
We
very,
try it.
very small leak.
Should we try that one?
Yeah, let's try that one.
Yeah, let's try that. Small leak.
Small leak. That is not the correct
Not the
answer.
correct answer.
All
Damn
right.
it.
Clue number 2. They have to top it up occasionally.
Well, if it was, I've never known it to be every 2 weeks, but if it was dropping down like regularly, like probably once a day or every couple of days, it's usually the expansion vessel's lost its charge in the boiler. So that would be a thing, but I've never known it to take 2 weeks. It'd do it a lot more rapid than that. Having to top it up. The only other thing it could be if there isn't a leak is if it's the expansion vessel and it's discharging out the pressure relief valve.
Mm.
But it wouldn't ever take 2 weeks.
Mm.
Should we go with the expansion
Yeah,
vessel?
let's go with the
It might
expansion
just be
vessel.
a bit of a worded a bit wrong.
Expansion vessel?
Yeah, let's go
That
expansion
is
vessel.
correct.
It's correct.
I
done.
have fouled expansion vessel.
Nice.
That
I
is-
thought that
that's
from the
correct.
start, but it happen daily or every other day.
Nice.
But we'll just say it was a very small failure.
Unless it, and do you know what? Unless it's only lost ever such a slight bit of charge, then yeah, it could potentially do that.
Fair enough. So round 3. I guess we can do 3 rounds. I've got possibly. I've got a couple. We can do 3 if you want. And at least
Do as
we've
many
got.
as you want, mate. I can do this all day.
It's nice having to use my brain. It makes me think here.
We'll do 5 then. At least that way I've got like some overhead for next week. Right. Clue number 1. Customer says the problem started shortly after a radiator was replaced in the living room.
Customer says the problem started shortly after a radiator. But
What is the problem?
We don't know what the problem is. This is the point of it.
That's the point.
It's not getting hot.
The problem started shortly after the radiator was replaced in the living room. I mean, without knowing what the problem is, it's impossible, isn't it?
The system's gone out of balance
It
The
was.
system will need to rebalancing
because
the
they
okay.
just
correct
fitted the
one.
radiator
Yeah.
without balancing it.
Yeah.
Just probably left both valves fully open.
Well done.
Yeah, I can't knock him for that. That was a good one.
That was really good.
Cheers, mate.
Round number 4.
I've been struggling to pass by myself. Sorry.
See, that's where 2 coffees gets you in the morning. 3 bean coffees.
He's
You'll
seen
try.
beyond the matrix. He's like locked in. Clue number 1. One radiator never heats properly.
One radiator never heats properly. Feels similar to the previous one.
Yeah, I think it would be. If one never heats properly, it's probably out of balance and it's not reaching that radiator. Or there's a fault like the thermostatic rad valve's pins got sticky or there's air in it.
Air in it, yeah.
Could
I
be
would
all
say it's
three.
probably one of those things because we just had one that was balancing. So
Yeah.
I would base it off of that and say,
Are you going to make us be
which one
exact
do you
here,
reckon?
Callum?
Pin, which one? The pin sticking, the TRV sticking, or air? I would say probably air. I reckon we should go there.
Yeah, let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll mix it up.
that is not the right one.
Wrong answer.
Clue number 2. The pipe leading to the valve is hot.
Oh, it is, isn't it? We should have gone with the TRV. You said.
The TRV is malfunctioned.
It's a stuck TRV pin.
Damn
I should
it.
probably give you what the third clue. Well, I should probably have done this like the other one. So clue number 3 would have been the thermostatic head turns but doesn't affect the radiator. That would have clued you in.
Went harsh on us there.
Yeah. We're supposed to get easier progressively.
Yeah. So that's why I was impressed that you got it on the other one on like that first clue, because that was very vague. Right, so last round. Clue number 1: customer hears knocking noises when the heating starts.
Air in the system, I suppose, or it could be multiple things. Could be systems design wrong, pumps getting old and faulty. Could be the 2-port actuator's got a bit wobbly inside and it's got getting clanky. Could be air in the system. Could even sometimes be the thermostatic rad valves are getting old and they're getting rattly. There's so many things
Could be.
But I reckon it's going to be more radiator related, this question. So I'd say it's either air in the system or a thermostatic rad valve has got old and the mechanism's getting shaky.
Pick one.
What type of clanking is it?
We'll get into that later.
I will go with air because it sounds quite simplistic, the question.
It is not
Not air.
Thermostatic rad valve.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Do
Clue
you know
number
what
2.
the second clue?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Clue number 2. The noise stops once everything warms up.
Yeah, there you go then. It's got to be the...
Well, it could be. Well, it's going to be.
the thermostatic rad valve's probably shut off by then.
Could be, or it could be like metal expanding and contracting. So you
Oh
can
yeah,
have,
do you know what it could be actually? Do you know the little plastic bits you put on the back of the radiators on the? Because I think you taught me this actually. I never knew they was actually to stop expansion noises, aren't they?
Yeah, because you're going to get when the heating system, when the system is heating up, you're going to get that expanding
And contraction.
Expanding
And do you know, so many people don't know this, mate. But listen, I've been doing it 20 years. And like I only knew this recently. I just thought they was just to make it sit there a bit more comfortable on the bracket. But when you fit radiators, basic radiators, and you put the bracket on the wall, the little plastic bits you put on top of the brackets, they're actually to stop noise from expansion and contraction. So, but
expanding metal.
Expanding metal.
I will let that slide.
Okay.
So clue 3 would have been pipes run through tight floor joists. So what I was looking for was pipe expansion,
right,
or poorly clipped pipe work.
Fair enough.
So I will let expansion slide because I think that's fair enough. That's very
close. Let's have it.
I'll let
Cheers,
you have
Callum. You're so generous. That's the benefit of having a.
You're back on the Christmas card list.
I'm not sacked. There you go. So that is the new game.
We scored 11. Nice.
There's some better questions there as well. I like that.
What did everyone else get?
I don't know. Well, that's what you can do. You can ask everyone what they got. There you go. What did everyone else get?
Yeah, what did everyone else get? Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
And there were some better questions, Callum, instead of the same old, like, the radiator's undersized. We like that with the pipe work and things like that. A bit different, you know?
Yeah.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
You know?
And that'll be SEO gold as well, Callum. So.
Oh, mate. Do I get a raise now?
The SEO guys will like that.
Cool.
That's it for the game. Now you're going to show us how to bend a pipe.
So, I wanted to talk to you about these benders because I've got traditional benders, but these are monument specialist benders. And I bought these because there's a gentleman, a young lad actually, probably not that young, a bit younger than me, but I think his name's Plumber. So shout out to Plumber. And he's just an OG on the YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. There's only about 2 people that ever watch. Like when I'm flicking through, they might catch my attention, and one of them is Plumber and the other one is CP Utilities. So shout out to both of them because they are both OGs. But yeah, he always uses these, and I've just always used traditional benders. To be honest, I'm quite lazy. I don't bend a lot. Like these boys, they're like master craftsmen. They bend everything in, whereas I just press fittings. That's how I've become over the years. But yeah, monument benders, and these are just 15mm ones. You lock them together, and yeah, they're just really nice benders, because the other ones are just so big and you have to put a slide in and hold it, like sort of put it in position where the slide is just built onto these. And yeah, you just and they've got little lines on them. So I was going to get you to do this, Rob, but I'll do the first one. So you just put it in. You've got your little lines in place. So you could do a little bend there. Take it out. A lot of people use little passes like that for radiators. So, you know, you'd come out the bottom of the radiator and you just use a 90 at the bottom and that goes straight in.
Yeah.
But then passovers and things. Put this back in. Just make sure that's square. And then there you go. Passover and things like that.
So what's special about these ones in particular?
They're just really nice and comfortable. They're small. You lock them in together. They've got the slide built in. Other traditional benders are a lot bigger and they do 22 and 15. These are just 15. So it would be a more expensive way of doing it because you'd have to buy these and the 22mm version. Yeah. But the majority of the time, I'm just bending 15mm. I don't bend as much 22. So normal benders have both. Yeah. They're a lot heavier and bigger. And they're just a pain in the arse, where these are just so small and lovely. And I don't know, I just feel like I'll get much more precise bends off these. Like, since I've bought these, I've just started bending again. It's all come back to me. Whereas, like, for a long time, I've just been lazy about it and I just press fittings in. Yeah. Or I just solder fittings in.
Yeah, you were
saying
about...
now I've just, like, it's just brought back the love of bending for me.
You were saying about some, like, precision as well. Like, how do they help you be more precise?
You've got the little lines on there, so... you can follow your lines. So like if you get in between those two lines, you've got your 90-degree bends and there's all your other 45s and things like that. So yeah, they're just the other ones where they're bigger and bulkier and you've got to put the slide in. And obviously there is master craftsmen out there that can just bend on anything. I can bend on the other ones absolutely fine, but these are just a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Just a little bit nicer, more slimlined. And do you want to have a go? Just put a real basic 90-degree
No, I don't want to
bend.
embarrass myself, man.
You're not going to.
Go on then, I'll have a quick
Right,
go.
so look, all you've got to do is, I'll put it in for you, and you're just going to bend down till that, get in between those two lines there.
Where are the lines?
The other side.
In between which two lines?
The bottom two. So once you get in between those two lines, put one side sort of on something hard, like your leg.
I can't even bend it, mate.
You will, once it starts going.
It's the way I'm sat, obviously.
I know, lean on the floor if you need. Put that side down on the floor. That's it. Keep going. Remember to stop inside that in between those two lines. You could a bit further down. Keep going, keep going.
Which two lines?
There should be.
There's loads of lines.
Keep going. There's the bottom two. About there.
Right there.
That's it.
There you
go. There you go. You've got a lovely 90-degree bend there.
Lovely.
Look at that. See, he's a pro. It's a little bit over, but
yeah,
that's nice though. Look, and then you think, say, look at that. Look, lovely 90. Yeah. Say you had to come out the floor.
Yeah.
There you go. You got your bend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's easier than it looks, actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But you've got to be precise, don't you?
That's the hard part. I mean, like, look,
and you've got to be quick as well,
really.
That's
your first ever bend. Look at that. It's lovely.
Yeah, although you did fix it for me.
I know, but I mean, if say you did 10 of them in a row, after doing 10, you'd be an animal at doing them. It'd be second nature. It's your first ever time doing a bend. I mean, that's good enough.
So when you have like an apprentice out with you or someone working with you or things like that, do you get them doing little bits like that? Like when you had Owen out with you, did you get him bending any pipes or anything?
Not really, no. Do you know what I would do if I was doing like a lot more installs? But when I had Owen with me recently, a lot of my stuff's breakdowns, like boiler breakdowns, isn't it? I've looked like plumbing and stuff is where you start at, and then as you get more and more sort of the years you've been going along and competent, like you sort of move into like boiler breakdowns.
Yeah, especially if you're just super busy doing the boiler stuff all the time. Yeah. Like that is where that's
where the money's at.
Yeah.
So it's more profitable.
Yeah, definitely. And it is also, like you say, it's people do want experienced people doing that side of things as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it's a boiler and there's like a lot that can go wrong. You want to know that the person that's like working on your boiler's got experience. Not to say that people can't like break into that, but you'd hope that someone that's sort of newer in the business would be working with someone else for a little while like actually learning the ropes and all of that kind of thing on the boiler side of things, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want someone. I don't know. I think a lot of people wouldn't want someone just sort of fresh out of college working on their boiler.
Do you know what I was getting him doing though? Like when we did like jobs where we was changing like 4 heat exchangers, and I would have him next to me, and he would completely do one by himself, like with my supervision. No, he's doing really well.
Yeah, sounds good.
But, yeah.
Speaking of pipe work, what the fuck is a roll groover?
A roll groover? Don't know.
Have a look at this.
Groover.
Yeah, you know our friend Andre Milwaukee.
Right.
He shared this on LinkedIn the other day.
I'll be able to know what it is as soon as I see it.
He shared it on LinkedIn the other day. It's a Milwaukee tool, and I just saw it and I thought, what does that even do? I didn't really understand it, so I thought I'd ask you.
I reckon this is going to be like a threading machine. Yeah, I know what this is. What a beast of a tool.
I love the sound.
Cool, isn't it? So that type of pipe work is mainly used on like sprinkler systems. And
right.
The way they bolt it together is they use like these clamps.
Yeah.
So they have the two grooves, they put the pipe up next to each other, and they get these clamps that locks it all together.
Got ya.
And they use it for, like I said, sprinkler systems.
Yeah.
So whoever's running like massive great buildings, like commercial buildings, they have a huge tank outside and a pumping system. Yeah. And that's all the pipe work that goes to, like on movies when you see people hold a lighter to a sprinkler system and all that type of thing. So I'm sure that's what that is.
Yeah. But it says it's for commercial.
Yeah, it is. But that's just, you only ever use that on sprinkler pipe work.
It also says that, where did I read this? Something about, it says a traditionally workshop-based process can now be carried out directly on site by one operative without mains power.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that's normally done away from site.
Yeah.
But then with this tool, they're saying that you can do it on site. Which seemed quite cool. I still don't really fully understand what it is.
Everyone presses everything now. I suppose that's probably might be a cheap alternative because that metal pipework is using cheaper, but a lot of places just press stuff in stainless these days. It's a lot quicker than all that. Keep putting something on a bench and waiting for that. You just cut stuff, plug it together, press, bang.
Got ya. Yeah. I mean, it's called the Milwaukee M18 Fuel Ringer Roll Groover.
Sound it's cool machine.
Yeah.
When is this guy going to come on and prove me wrong about this car?
I don't know. I ain't heard from him since. He's gone quiet on us. But we'll keep bigging up the products. Big fan of Milwaukee, aren't you?
I am. I'm a Milwaukee guy. Everything I've got's Milwaukee.
Right. Comments, man.
Have we had anything back yet about the tools and stuff? Has that gone out?
Which tools?
When I've said, like, what's your favourite power tool?
Not yet.
That is going live today.
I'm hungry for this.
Yeah, that's going out today. Keep an eye on it.
We're going to get the people that's a passionate one for the guys out there on sites. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, so I've not really got advice on the comments this week, but I have got a couple of questions from people. So the other week, obviously, we were talking about Riley, who was a fan of the podcast. He has a question I think James might be able to put some information on. I'll find it. Basically, Riley was asking for opinions on apprenticeships. He said that he can't get one at the moment. He's about to finish his NVQ level 2 at college, but there's apparently no apprenticeships where he's at, where he lives.
Where does he live? Well, we don't know. Do you know what? Rob's probably the best person to speak to this because obviously he's employs a lot of people and he's given me good advice over the years. Like, is there websites you could look on, Rob? Like, I suppose, on the internet searches, like all that Indeed and stuff.
Yeah, where to look for apprenticeships? MVQ level 2 at college, and there's no apprenticeships around where I live. It's mental. Yeah, that is a difficult one. Because if it sounds like he's already looking and there's nobody advertising for him, nobody's recruiting for him. It is a tough...
Is the apprenticeships where like it's a scheme, or does he mean just working with someone as a trainee?
I think that's what he means. So he says he's about to finish his MVQ level 2 at college and there's no apprenticeships around. I think what he wants to do is get out and work with somebody and learn.
Because you know what, I think another thing is a lot of like older people, like plumbers and gas engineers and things, I think they get confused. Like when people say like, I want to become an apprentice, they don't realise people have actually finished college. So maybe don't word it as an apprentice. Maybe word it as like, you know, I want to be start off as like training, but I'm qualified.
Yeah.
And then you might have a bit more luck, because I think a lot of the older people, we don't understand how it's all worded these days, because even a lot of older people don't even know that kids have to go to college straight after school and they can't just break up. So a lot of these people are actually, this chap here is actually probably qualified.
Yeah, well,
if he's finishing college in 2 weeks, then don't word it as, obviously you ain't got all the experience on site, but just maybe word it as like qualified plumber, just need experience, want to work with someone as a trainee.
Yeah, I mean, that's great advice.
Yeah.
Because like if you've already got your MVQ level 2,
you're not an apprenticeship, but you're not an apprentice, are you?
Because that's what you would get from an apprenticeship. You get your MVQ.
You're more just a trainee
through doing your apprenticeship. And the reason that can be off-putting to employers or people that you
there's
go
a lot
work
of bureaucracy,
with.
isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of work that you've got to do. It's like you become, because we've done apprenticeships through, like we've employed people on apprenticeships. I think Louis started on an apprenticeship, and what you get is you get people that are young, like looking to learn, which can be really good. But from an employer's perspective, you do then also become like a college effectively. Like they do have
and you have to set up a program. Like it's like even the payments, like you're getting a subsidiary from the government for it, so it's a lot of like bureaucracy and effort for the person, whereas
it's a lot of work. There's a lot of
they
work.
have to think, oh, who do I contact for this and that, whereas if you're just saying, look, I want to be a buddy and just learn, and you know, like I've qualified, but you know, I'm still learning and stuff, then you're going to people are going to sort of, that's what I would say anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Because you'd take somebody on, wouldn't you, if they were qualified and they're just looking for a start.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for my first job, just
definitely.
out of college,
you don't
qualified,
need that
looking
much
for my
experience.
first job.
As long as you're willing, that's the main thing.
But if someone was asking you to do an apprenticeship, like a structured apprenticeship where you've got to do all the coursework,
then I would be a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing there.
Yeah, you don't want to do
that. So
that.
it's definitely, I think your number one thing, bro, is how you're wording it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you need to
don't search for apprenticeships. Just search for like trainee positions or entry level position.
Just entry level positions.
Yeah, like plumber's mate kind of
Yeah,
thing.
or even if you just apply as a plumber and just say, look, I've come out of college, so just don't call yourself an apprentice. Just say, look, I just want to learn and stuff. Obviously, like laboury type, buddy, first position type thing. You know.
Yeah. One thing I would say on the apprenticeship side, it does depend where you are. I do know of a company that are London based that do take on a lot of apprentices, and they're expanding at the moment. So if you're in the London area or prepared to relocate to the London area, I can give you those contact details, and you can reach out to them and just see if there's a good fit there. But it would really depend on location for that one.
So even with me, like I was, like if I was advertising, I'd put like plumbing and heating trainee required, because like you say, with the apprenticeship, like you're just entering a realm of like, unless like you're a successful business owner, so you understand it all. But if I was like a guy that was employing someone that I just wanted to have a second man with me, I'd label it more as trainee, because apprentice, like then people are going to go, oh, can I work 2 days but be 3 days in college, and it's
there's just a lot more structure to it when it's an apprenticeship, where you have to help them do a certain amount of coursework.
Right.
That's part of the responsibility of like taking on an apprentice. You do have to do that in a more structured way, which isn't necessarily going to suit everybody. But as I say, there is a company I know that are expanding at the moment. So
we need to try and get this feedback to this young lad, Callum. Maybe
he'll see the video. We'll put a TikTok out. He'll see it. He follows us on TikTok.
Yeah, maybe try and at him, because that'll be real good advice for this kid, because it definitely don't what we just spoke about. Won't bore him with the matter.
There's another comment here. Why are combi boilers not reliable compared to a back boiler? Had a combi boiler in for 4 years now. First year fine. Now constantly getting faults on the screen. No hot water, low water pressure. The old back boiler was in 30 years. 2 faults in all that time.
Well, back boilers were just very simplistic, and they was just really like hardcore. It was just made hardcore, just solid, simplistic, and that's why they lasted. Whereas a combi boiler is very technical, like it's instant hot water, it's got a lot of components, And if you're, it should definitely be lasting longer than 4 years. Like the things you've got to take into consideration is it a cheap combi boiler? Because if you pay for what you get. So if it's something cheap, like £400-500, then yeah, it's not going to probably last very long. If it's a much better boiler, then you get like 7 to 10 year warranties with them. If you're getting pressure fault codes come up, it's probably just the expansion vessel's gone flat. So someone just needs to come around and recharge it, so you're losing water out your PRV. But yeah, it's a hard one to say because back boilers did last for so long, but they weren't efficient, and you get some more efficiency in a combi boiler. But yeah, they probably were better. Everything that was older was designed better. Things are designed in this day and age to break, so you have to replace them. I mean, in old-fashioned plant rooms, in commercial, you've got like 30-40-year-old boilers that are still going. They're like beasts. Things just generally were like old-fashioned cars. They were just built more solid, whereas everything's just more technical and meant to be more sort of eco-friendly. And
4 years isn't great though, is it? I mean, no. I've got a combi boiler. It's about 10 years old. I ain't had any problems with it. But you don't usually get. Has
the guy ever had it serviced in 4 years? That's another thing. Has it had maintenance? Because
it's important to get it serviced regularly.
If it keeps going out saying a low pressure, then there's just something minor wrong with it that you need to pay and get it sorted out, and then it'll probably be fine for another 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, when I first had my boiler service, so I bought a new build, obviously brand new boiler in there when I moved in. When I first got it serviced, the guy that serviced it realised that there was no magnetic filter on there. So I had to obviously pay for that.
I haven't got one in my new build.
So he said he was surprised because in new builds, it's like, building regs and all of that. They're supposed to put them in, but they hadn't put one in, so there's a couple of £100 to get that off. I think it was about 300 quid.
So I need to do that in my new build.
But that on its own, right, can make a massive difference. I don't know if it's with that particular fault, but that can cause a lot of issues, can't it? Not having a magnetic filter on there.
Do you know what? I'm actually my house that hasn't got one. My new build. I'm going to put one in there because that's about 6 years old now. The house and but I've got real good inhibitor in there. I've done a few little bits in there, but I definitely need to put one. There's no room in the kitchen because it's all boxed in, but I might put one in the cupboard somewhere. I'm going to do that. You just reminded me. It's so important.
But then you've also got to make sure that then the filter gets cleaned as well.
Once a year.
Yeah, once a year when you get it serviced and all of that. So there is a fair amount of servicing. I can do that
myself. I'm lucky.
I know you can, but I'm talking for this guy. There's probably little bits and pieces. I mean, like I said, I can't. What was the fault? It was low water pressure, was it?
Yeah, no faults on screen with no hot water.
No hot water. So it's a hot water issue more than it is a central heating system issue. But
you just have to keep topping it up and stuff. It's your expansion vessel's probably gone flat, but I mean, if you just get it maintained, you'll probably be all right for a long time.
Yeah,
sometimes
if you're getting an annual
service, if you're getting an annual service.
Those things will get picked up, wouldn't they?
So back boilers had nothing in them that could go wrong, whereas new boilers have lots of, I mean, they do. To make them efficient, they've got a lot of components in there and a lot of safety features and like instant hot water, like your plate heat exchangers, whereas a back boiler was just a solid bit of metal, a thermocouple and a gas valve. Very simple.
But that's why servicing is so important, right? It's like new cars, you get a brand new car now or, a modern car now and you do have to get it serviced like every so many thousand miles, don't you? Because if you don't, then shit will go wrong.
So, and he's like sort of having a debate with the guys, but efficient in what way? The water is just a bit more powerful. Anything else? Well, you're saving money on gas because a back boiler had a pilot light continuously 24 hours a day, so you're just burning a flame, so like your gas bill would have been higher, whereas a combi boiler just cuts in and out when you need it, so it lights up automatically. And
then you got the condensing condenser to flue.
Everything about it should be cheaper.
It's just this guy's just like, no, I just want my back boiler, just want my back boiler back.
The thing is, though, he's swearing by back boilers, but they don't make them anymore. So if you bought a house and you was like, oh yeah, great, it's got a back boiler, when something goes wrong on it and like the heat exchanger splits or something, you're going to have to rip it out anyway and do a whole conversion, which is going to charge you loads of money. Well, it's going to cost you loads of money for a full conversion, where now you've got a combi boiler in your house. If something goes wrong, you can just unbolt the combi boiler and put a new one in, and the whole infrastructure's there. So it's already condemned by law. You can't fix it Back boilers if it can't be fixed, and I hate my Combi. Maybe it's just a poor brand.
Yeah, probably Ideal or something, isn't it?
Ideal are great. I love Ideal.
Was it Ferroli? Was that?
Yeah, it'd be one of them Ferrolis, mate.
By Azzy.
Valiant.
No, Valiant are great as well.
Is it Valiant?
Valiant, Baxi, Ideal.
Valiant.
Valiant.
Like,
I can't not say
it's
it.
like Valiant.
Valiant. Like.
Oh, we're doing inside jokes now. Come on, one more comment, Callum. What you got?
The only other thing was a response to James's story about that gas leak he found in, what was it, a friend's mum's house?
My mum's, yeah. My friend's mum's.
Yeah, so the comment was, so many kitchen fitters do this, they don't want to pay for a gas engineer to decom a boiler and reconnect a new one. Also, kitchen designers do not know nor care about the housing around the boiler, rendering some boilers AR or ID. Anyone else experience this?
Yeah.
I don't know your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, like I said, kitchen fitters, they're very competent guys, so they some of them probably do cap off gas pipes properly, even though they shouldn't be doing them and use a compression cap. But some people don't understand, and like in this scenario, they've used a push fit cap. Well, just don't touch things unless you're gas. But where they're competent people, like not with gas, I'm just talking about
Just general
tradesmen.
People.
They're very good. Like kitchen fitters are like elite fitters. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't fit a kitchen; it's too precise. All that cutting and stuff like that. So they're very skilled guys. So they probably just think, "Oh, I can cap off a pipe." But if you get it wrong, you know, you could cause some serious issues.
And then it's like you say, you have to be
And
tested.
you can get yourself in trouble.
Because you always have to test as well, don't you?
Of course,
And if
they
you
haven't got the right
equipment
test
tested,
equipment and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them ones. Right, question for the audience.
Have we got any negativity before we go on the? I know, like I'm usually getting gunned down.
Nah, there's been none of that, mate. All good stuff. All good stuff.
Oh well, as we've spoken, as I featured the benders today, my question for the audience is going to be: what's our preferred method of when we're installing pipework? Is it bending, more traditional way? Soldering, like end feed or Yorkshire fittings with a soldered ring, or press? What do we prefer using? I sort of use all of them. Bending when I need to, soldering in small distances because I know press fittings can be chunky. Some people hate press; they're very negative against it. I personally love it, but people that haven't got a press gun that don't use it as much, they're very like, "Oh, it's bulky, it looks ugly." Whereas I quite like it because you don't have to clean all the pipework after, and the pipework still looks nice. Whereas you've got the master solderers out there that are just elite solderers that solder everything. What's your preferred choice? Press, fitting, bending? What's the pros and cons? Let's have some feedback.
In the comments.
In the comments.
Yeah.
And click and subscribe.
That's it.
Piped Up Podcast, and thank you very much.
Lovely.